Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Carrie's Musings. Well, it's not 12 noon. I'm late. Sorry about that. Little technical difficulties. Hope everybody's having a great day after a great weekend. Great weekend. Hope everybody's ready for the 4th of July. Get ready to celebrate our independence. Independence, the bloody war was fought against Britain, 1700s. Our men and women got tired of being bullied by the by the British. Hey, Italian princess, how you doing? Good to see you here. We were being bullied, and we fought back and won the war. Won the war. Small groups can beat a mighty army. Goes to prove it. We're here getting ready to celebrate the signing of that Declaration of Independence. We said we're not going to take your dictatorship anymore. Hey, Andy, how you doing? Good to have you here. And we're going to have picnics and fireworks, and hopefully, hopefully they don't turn out like this. I'm sure everybody's seen it, but whoop, not that one. I'm gonna I'm gonna have to pull it up here because it's something happened. Whoop, where'd it go? Sorry about this. I'll continue talking while I pull it up. Well, I must have a slow. It's getting ready to storm here, so what is going on here? See me? This don't. Is this my page? No, that's not my page. Duh. Well, I laid down after and come on, load up. Here we go. Kind of graphics of get off there. I want to see it. Oop, nope. Come on. Hey, Casey. One more time. That would be me. That would be me. Oh, yeah, that kid. Whoa. Oh, his ears. His 5 stars. Hmm. That's some expensive fireworks. Everybody pay attention. Not only did the fireworks go, but that car was probably totaled. Let alone the kids were standing around there right next to it. Okay. About 3 years ago, let me turn that off. Let me stop that because it's still making down. Hey, about 3 years ago, my brother and my mom and dad and us, we all put off their last 4th of July fireworks. My brother took the mortar upside down and put it in the tube, and boom! It got all of us. Just stung a little bit, little bitty sparks, hit us. But yeah, it was scary. It was scary. We learned real quick. You put the mortar in there right. So if you're not experienced, don't do it. Let somebody else do it that knows how. Make sure you know that they do know how. That's the big thing. Because when it goes off, there ain't no stopping it. No stopping it whatsoever. None at all. But yeah, this is our tomorrow will be our day to celebrate our independence. A lot of us don't actually know what it means. A lot of us, just party, fireworks, picnics, the day to have fun, or the movie, Independence Day. Not really, but yeah, we don't have a clue. A lot of people don't have a clue. I watched Mark Dice out on the beach in California. He was asking how many flags, how many stars were on the flag, and a lot of people said 52. At least they said 52. They didn't say 58 like Obama did. Obama 58 states when he was campaigning. Didn't have a clue. Did not have a clue. Yes, there's 50 stars on the flag. And it's sad that the flag is not patriotic anymore, and nobody cares how many stripes, how many stars, the background red, white, and blue. They don't understand, they don't know. And it's sad. It's our job to educate them. Our job to educate. And hopefully we can. Hopefully we can. I got to figure out some way not to be so serious because I heard that my broadcast was too serious. But this is serious, folks. This is serious business that we're talking about. We can't hesitate. We can't fall asleep. We can't stop. We got to keep going, keep talking, keep educating. If we don't, we're going to be doomed. I think we're doomed already, but I'm trying. I'm doing my part. People try to tear us down, try to keep us stopped, try to keep us quiet, and doing everything in their power, but we got to keep going. Got to keep fighting. Keep stirring the pot. There's a lot of patriots out there. They just don't know what to do, don't know how to do it. And we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same boat. So tomorrow we got to think about it. All of us patriots think about, what this is all about, why we're doing it. Well, this is why I do it. Grab my fingers. Gitty. Yeah, open them up. You can look. Oh, there you go. There you go. Hi. Say hello, world. Hello, world. My great grandbaby, Kira. Smile. ZE. I did Malachi like this too. YRE. Yeah. There's a possibility in there. The
You get the
possibility.
picture there, Bella?
No, she is.
Oh, okay. Did you get her smiling?
I thought Bella was taking pictures
Hello.
with my camera,
Say
but she
hi.
wasn't.
Hi, say hi, Papa. She's trying to poop. Oh, are you comfy? Are you comfy? Look at that. Have a smile. Do it like you did before. Do it like you
She
did
smiled big at me
before.
before
Little pinky. You grab
the lady started videoing.
Grab some fingers. There you go.
Grab my finger.
Grab my fingers. Gitchy, gitchy. Gitchy, gitchy. Yeah.
Why did I
Come on.
say gitchy gitchy?
You can look. Oh, there you go. There you go. Ah, hi. Say hello, world. Hello, world.
Hi, Carol.
Mhm.
Just in time.
Smile. I did Malachi
One more
like
time in
this
case you
too.
missed it.
Yeah,
Hey, Zero.
yeah.
Looks
You
like
get the picture there, Bella?
No, she is.
Oh, okay. Did you get her smiling?
Make her smile.
Hello. Say hi. Hi. Say hi, Papa. She's trying to poop. Oh, are you comfy? Are you comfy? Look at that. Have a smile. Do it like you did before. Do it like you did before. Get a little pinky. You grab. Come on. Grab some fingers. There you go. Grab my fingers.
Hey again, Zero. Oh, Twitch and
Gitchy, gitchy.
YouTube.
Gitchy, gitchy. Yeah. Open them up. You can look. Oh, there you go. There you go. Ah, hi. Say hello, world. Hello, world.
Chaplain, good to see you.
Mhm. Smile. I did Malachi like this too.
Malachi was there, but she didn't get Malachi and
Yeah.
Zakai
You get the picture there,
in the
Bella?
video.
No, she is.
Oh, okay. Did you get her smiling?
Make her smile.
Hello. Say
Okay. That's how I spent my weekend. And we had a good time. But this is what we're fighting for. Our children, our grandchildren, and our great grandchildren. All of them. All of them. And a lot of naysayers out there trying to stop us, trying to say we're silly. You know, we don't know what we're talking about. But we do. We do. It's all there. I mean, we have to get it done. It's important. It's very important that we stand strong, stand together, and get all this. Oh, I'm gonna play this while I'm at it. This is very funny. I don't know how many have seen it. A few things I've picked up. Get up there. Oh, get sound on.
And Dana Carvey.
I miss COVID.
I know. Dude, you know what I knew? There was trouble when anyone that came to our country didn't have to get a vaccine. And I go,
Mm-hmm.
if you're telling me I can't go to work, but everyone coming in doesn't have to get one, I go,
Well, once we found out, when Fauci said,
Okay, I'm sorry. If you've had 2 boosters and 2 vaccines, you can get and give COVID to another guy who's had 5 vaccines and 4 boosters.
Mhm.
What's the difference between a vaccine and a booster? I don't know. Just more vaccine, but booster sounds better. Anyway, a guy with 25 vaccines would get and give COVID to another guy with 25 vaccines. That's why I'm introducing the daily COVID shot. Every day you get a shot. By the time you get to your car, you got no immunity. But it's a beautiful 39 seconds.
Well, I don't know about you, but I love a good impersonation of Dr. Fauci. And oh my, is it painfully hilarious to see all of those dark COVID dots just not seeming to connect or add up. I have said it and I will say it again and again. The truth will set us free. So,
Amen. Amen. The truth will set us free. Yeah, everybody hit the like button. If you'd like to share it. Hey, Nobby, how's it going? Good evening from Marriott, England. Just about to get dark there. But we're in the middle of the day. Middle of the day here. It's looking like it's going to rain here, threatening to rain. I hope not. The girls are all going to Red Hot and Boom in the other side of Orlando called Altamont Springs. They have a park there called Crane's Roost. Like I think I told it before, but one of the biggest firework displays in the country. They have three sets going on at the same time, simultaneously, all across the lake. And they pontoon boat the singers to a floating dock in the middle with the bandstand, and they play. They're all out of the top 10 recording artists now. They bring them in and they play and sing, and then at 9 o'clock they shoot the fireworks off, and it's 30 minutes of red hot and boom. I told them to video for me so I can put it out. So hopefully I get some good video. Said to me, I'm just not in shape to walk from Altamont Mall to the park, which is probably a quarter mile, and there's probably over 100,000 people there, so it's wall to wall people. And it usually rains, so you got to be, prepared with your slicker or pullover, whatever, poncho, yeah, and everything. Hey, Malcolm. Hi, Wendy. I think I see Wendy, Malcolm, Salt Chaplain. Everybody, the gang's all here. Everybody's welcome on my channel. As long as you don't get nasty, as long as you don't call names, as long as you don't start a fuss, everybody's welcome here. We're a big, happy family. No fuss, no muss. And I've got people here that will just, show you the door if you don't comply. I hate showing people the door. I like a good conversation, even if it's with the opposite side. I don't mind it. I'm here for freedom for everybody, everywhere. No matter what you are, how you live, I'm for your freedom. Just don't push your agenda on me if I don't want it. And definitely don't put it on my children. They need to grow on their own and learn on their own and learn from the parents, not from some government that think that it should be something that they're not. And telling them that there's something they're not is just as wrong can be, in my opinion. We have to educate our kids, I know they're all not going to go the way we want, and they're going to do things that, and talk about it and think about it because they're hearing it all the time. But it's our job as parents to show them the ins and outs, the ups and downs, the hardships, the things will happen. Just like my granddaughter with her nose piercing. I am totally against piercing. I'm totally against tattoos. But I'm not her caregiver anymore, so I don't have a say. But she knows that I don't agree with it. And I told her before she got it, it's going to hurt. It's going to get infected. We'll get that stuff, in every, in never mind. You know what I'm saying? And I told her, if your nose runs and your feet smells, you're built upside down. She looked at me and she goes, a minute later, she goes, "Oh, come on, Paw." How many of you got it? And then I told her, you may think it's funny, but it's not. But anyway, the terrors of the nose ring. I just don't understand it. But yep, you're right, Carol. They have to learn on their own. And fortunately, in most cases, the hole might not close up, but generally it does. So, thank goodness. It might leave a little mark there, but I was always taught, if God didn't put it on your body, don't do it. And that's how I live. That's how I've always lived. Some people may agree with me, some may disagree, but that's your prerogative. I live by the Lord and what He says, and try to. But not everybody's Christian, so you're welcome to your opinion, and I have mine. Like I said the other day, me and my house, we serve the Lord. That's what we all have to do in life, make our own decisions. You're right, Wendy. A lot of adults still have not learned. A lot. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube, a lot of different opinions, a lot of ways, a lot of stuff drives you crazy. You see, some of it makes you want to jump up and shout. But we are here, and we hopefully, I'm speaking the truth. If I'm not, let me know. Let me know. Hey, tell your princess back. You're absolutely right, Nabi. We sure did. We sure did. It's funny. Thinking back of some of the stuff we did, some of the stuff we got in trouble for. And, I grew up in the age where, you had to go out and get your own whipping stick, and it had to be just right. And yeah. Yep. So, but there's no correction anymore. Our kids go every which way, do whatever they want to do. There's no discipline whatsoever. It just terrible that nobody knows how to correct children. I'm not saying whipping them. I'm just saying they don't discipline the children. Absolutely. Absolutely. Back in the day, we didn't talk back. We didn't tell our parents how it was going to be, and like they do now. See these kids, they tell the parents, I'm not going to listen to you. And they go to school and school tell them they don't have to listen to you. And we're in a heck of a mess. And it's been the past 40, 50 years. So there's some middle-aged adults that are the same way. They don't know how to take yes or no. They go off the deep end if you tell them no. And we see it every day, go off the deep end. Yeah, they can keep going back to many centuries in ancient civilization. I said that's the way I felt. You could have holes in every part of your body, and I don't care. I really don't care. That's your freedom. That's your prerogative. I mean, that's why we're fighting for freedom. For freedom for you to fill your nose full of holes, your lips full of holes, your ears full of holes. I don't want them. Don't need them. But that's your prerogative. That's what we're fighting for. Not for people to say, well, you have to have a nose ring or you have to have a lip ring. That's wrong. Just because it's been done forever doesn't mean it's right. Well, and because I don't believe in it doesn't mean it's wrong. There's only one person that's going to decide that, and it's not me. One person's going to decide all this. It's not any one of us. And if you don't believe in that, that's fine too. But we'll see. We'll see. But this is my opinion. This is my musings, my thoughts. My thoughts. That is right, Carol. If we don't discipline our children, that's a cruelty because they grow up not knowing, how to take yes and how to take no and take an answer, and take authority at work because you have to listen to the boss. And so many people go to work and fight with the boss, get mad, quit, or whatever, because they don't know how to deal with the word no. That's a big problem in society today. They don't know how to accept no. They don't know how to accept somebody tell them to be quiet, to not talk. Whatever it is on the job, they haven't been taught that there's things you have to do and keep your mouth shut. And they go to the job and half work it, half do their job, and they get away with it because they say, well, they just didn't learn right or whatever the story is. It's just like the jails is full of people that didn't know the word no. They didn't know the word no. Well, maybe that's not always the case, but generally, you're right. Generally, you're right. They try to bring attractiveness to themselves with it, which I don't. That's exactly right, Wendy. And they're trying to tell us how to discipline our children. And they've done a rotten job for the past 40, 50 years with all the Dr. Spock stuff and, abortions. And, Roe versus Wade was overturned because it gave the federal government the right to rule abortion, which the government had no business in to begin with. It belonged in the states. Because when it's general, and they make one law, it's law nationwide. But by state, it's state by state. And if you don't like the law of that state, you can move to another state, and it is whatever you want. That's the way the country was founded. All the laws are supposed to be by the state. That way, it's not a general overall blanket all over the whole country. If you don't like that law, you can move to another state. But if it's across the USA, we're stuck with that stupid law, no matter what they make it. And that's not right. That's not the way the country was founded. That is not by the Constitution. Constitution is the laws are supposed to be written by the state. The government can make laws that are good all over the state. Some of them they make them are not good everywhere. They're supposed to provide for the common defense, protect us as citizens of the country. Basically, that's it. They didn't need to be in session all the time like they are now, getting in everybody's business and trying to run everybody's business and telling us that we don't know what we're doing as people, you know. Well, they're supposed to be listening to us and making the rules that we want. Yeah, history alone doesn't make it right. History, in our history, we have been wrong. And I'm trying to, hey, Fry, how you doing? Good to have you here. 12 likes. But you know, it's just like we were talking this morning, Dan and I. The churches have the hidden books, you know, the hidden books because they're historical. And King James didn't want that history to be spoken by the Puritans and what have you back in those days. So you had the Bible, the King James Version, written without them. That's where the government's got the idea that they can change history, keep history out of it, and sway the people to their thoughts. And they twist history or erase history, like our Civil War, our Confederate soldiers, the Confederate flag, you name it, because they don't want people to remember the Civil War. They don't want us to go back and repeat it, which we don't want to go back and repeat it, really. I mean, that was a bloody, awful war. Families against family, brothers against brother. It was awful. No, I'm not saying tattoos are ugly, Carol. I don't know. I haven't been reading the chat. But some of them are flat hideous. Some are cool. I mean, if I had a tattoo, it would be something that I had meaning, something looked good. But there's a lot of ugly stuff there on people. A lot of stuff that I would really be ashamed of. I mean, personally. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. You know, I'm just saying my opinion, no. I don't have none. I was taught in a different way. I mean, I don't really keep that in my foremind, you know, but I was taught not to wear jewelry because it was pride. And pride is one of the worst of the seven sins. I did wear my wedding ring when I was married for 40 years. I never took it off until probably 6 months after she died. And then I gave it to my oldest of the sisters, granddaughters. And I gave it to her. And she'll probably use it when they get married in December, I'm thinking. But you know, that's my opinion, my ideas. You know, I don't, I don't, I don't flash bling personally. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just my personal thing. You know, even crosses and things like that. You know, just my opinion. I mean, not my opinion, but my thinking, upbringing. But that's like talking about trying to push agendas on us. I'm not going to try pushing the, you know, you can't wear jewelry or bling and things like that because it's pride. That's one's personal choice, and everybody has to make their choice of how they want to live, how they want to look, how they want to dress. And like I said, there's only one person that you have to answer to, and it's not your next door neighbor. Read the chat here, get caught up. They sure do. Hillsdale College does a fine job. Have a lot of historical papers, lessons on the Constitution, and we all need to study from places like that and learn. You know, there's a lot of stuff we don't. I don't know. A lot of stuff everybody don't know. There's nobody that doesn't know everything. See what Chapman said back here. Scroll back. Isn't that pathetic? That's the thing this is the things people we need to fight against. In our state. In our state. California's trying to make it where you kill up to a 2-year-old child. That is inconceivable. Could you imagine putting to sleep your 2-year-old toddler? I mean, they're walking by 2 years old. Give me a break. Now, they're talking about handicapped, disabled, downs, you know. That's inconceivable. Even with a disability or a mental handicap or anything, there's still people. And let me tell you, there's kids with Down syndrome are the happiest kids you will ever see in your life. I've taken care of many. And who knows what they think and how they think. You know, they may not be able to communicate it. No, don't do that, Crypto. There's an old song, don't sleep in the subway, darling. And back in the 60s. Oh, yeah. They're finding out a lot of people has had that gender reassignment surgery. Not too long after they do it, they feel sorry that they did it. I've heard a lot of cases, people that have had it done even years later, are talking about it and regretting it. And there's no switching back. No switching back once you do it. It's a big decision, big decision, even bigger than abortion. I mean, think about it. I can't think about it. That puts a picture in your head you can't get out. You hear bangs and bumps, and then he's in there putting flooring in the living room, and he won't let me help because of my burst the gallbladder. So might hear some bumps and bangs and hammer. 33% of all conservatives did not vote in the last election counts. So does every vote, if it's not manipulated, that is. That's sad that well, that's 66% did. Is that right or is that backwards? Because I think the actual vote is a lot lower of people coming out and voting. But we have to get out and vote. We have to get out. We have to do it. Every no vote is a vote for the other side, because they have, even though they have less states, they have larger population and more electoral votes than conservative states. And if we don't vote as conservatives and Christians, then it helps them that much more. So we have to get out there, no matter what we think. We have to get out there in numbers like they've never seen before. I'm saying that like they've never seen before, and vote, or we're going to lose. We'll have Biden for a second term, because the way all the projections and everything is all the same as it was last year. All the states are lined up the same way. And if they don't correct, which they probably won't, Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, all these states, if they don't fix what's wrong there, it's going to be the same old thing over. If you live in those states, get on the ball and straighten it up. We just have a year and a half, if that, to make sure it's done. Don't think it's enough time. It is not looking good. So we either had to get out in stronger numbers than we have ever seen before, and put it on it. Yes, they are, Carol, Wendy. Yes, they are. I have my brother is married to a woman, has a son. He's early 30s now. He has Downs. Happiest kid you could ever meet in your life. And he always wants me to take his picture. Take my picture, Uncle Gary. Take my picture. And he likes. He loves it. And his favorite song is Boot Scoopin' Boogie. Boot Scoopin' Boogie, yeah. He loves to play and sing that. But never, they have their moments where they get down, depressed. I had one work for me when I run a bowling center. And he did the cleaning of the tables and cleaned off the tables, the beer bottles and stuff from the lane pits, and, kept the place clean. Happy-go-lucky fella. His dad was the bowling, run the bowling pro shop, drilled the holes and things. So we put him to work cleaning the lanes and stuff, and he did a fantastic job. The place was always spotless. And they worked like It don't quit. You know, they don't quit. They just do their job and smile and happy. It's a you wonder, it's a blessing to, you know, that they're that way. You know, God saw fit to make them happy and bring sunshine into other people's lives. I think really something else. Oh, yeah, our armed forces are really getting into the pride and the tranny stuff big time. It is so shameful. So shameful. I don't see how we could face the rest of the world, you know. You see other recruiting videos from other countries. They're going through some major stuff in the videos. And we're showing the happy trans and gay life in the military. We all need to be ashamed of what we see when they show it. They're dictating our lives through videos, through TV, our commercials, the programs. Got to be somebody gay in it. Got to be somebody this color. Got to be this. Got to be that. Trying to mold us into the way they want us to be. It's changed a lot. Used to be TV programs made sense. But now it's all crap. As Carol said, it's all crap. Every pill we take has something. The problem's worse than the cure.
It's that corner in the living room.
Oh, sorry. Here you go. Ooh. Sorry about that. Found some rotting wood in the corner. But all the medicines, the cure is worse than what we're taking the medicine for. They're trying to reduce the population and have us ask for it. Basically, hey John. And you know what really burns me up? What really burns me up is all these things that pop up on Facebook and YouTube, and you know, click here to find out how to take care of neuropathy or high blood pressure or diabetes. And there's nothing where people will tell you, you know, make dandelion tea like this, or make this like this. It's all a long video, and then buy their supplements to get her done. You know, folks, if you got something out there, if you got a herbal something or other to help that you think might cure something, we should be putting that out left and right and not go into a phony page that has about 5 links that you click onto, and you got to keep clicking and clicking and clicking. You never get to anything that tells, what it's going to do or how to do it. But everybody's money hungry and they want money for their whatever it is, whatever problem that you're looking at. And I was looking at the implanted dentures. All of you seen it. $299 for implanted dentures. Well, if you finally get through the garbage to get to anything, to a dental place, you ain't gonna find no $299. You're gonna find $3, $4, $5, $18,000. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, a lot of places have, you can get a whole denture or whatever for $600. But in most cases, it's usually 3 times that much. The false advertising, the things that we had to, when you're looking, I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. Whoop. Yep, the big grifter. That's it. And people. They call us grifters, but grifter, they don't know. People don't know what grifting is. Grifting is a scam. Grifting is a scam. That's what it means. You run a game. You run a scam game. That's what grifting is. I mean, you ask people for money, it's asking for money. It's not grifting. Grifting is when you con them out of it. When you make them think they're investing in something or they're trying to create something and they don't do it, they're swindling you. That's a grift, is a swindle. And a lot of people online asking for money aren't swindling. They're telling the truth. They're talking the truth. They're doing a service for you, just like I'm talking about these people that trying to make money off of homemade remedies and cures. Instead of giving it out there, letting everybody know, and then they don't give you the stuff. They don't give you anything to really come up with, to be worth it. That's a scam. That's a swindle. We should, as people, help each other. That's good to make money. Good to make money. But, yeah, there are cures probably for most of the things that affect all of us, but they're not going to give us a cure that's going to end all, because it'll stop their money flow. They're going to keep us sick. They're going to keep us needing. They're going to keep us dependent on what they're selling. That's the sad part. And they're going to try to cover up. You're going to try to cover up what is beneficial, so you won't use it. This is what we're fighting for. This is, we shouldn't be out here tearing each other up, tearing each other down, bad mouthing each other. We should be helping each other. And if we don't, we're going to be slaves to this world government. This world government is coming fast. And it's not going to be good. It's not going to be a free US of A. It's going to be a worldwide slave business. All be slaves around the world. There won't be no USA to jump in and help, because we're going to be the ones that the slave masters of the world with all of them, telling all their people what to do and how to do it, right along with China and Russia and all the other countries out of Europe somewhere. Who knows? Wherever the WEF is or whatever, that's where it'll be run from. Not the United States. The United States is going to be a third world country. There won't be no leading nations. They're dragging us down to the pits. Mark my word. Believe me now or find out later. We're going to be in a world of hurt. This whole world, all of us, bowing down to a few elite. If you're not in the elite, buyer beware. There is no utopia. There is no utopia. This is as good as it gets as far as utopia. We could get better by bringing back our freedoms and our constitutions and living by the Constitution. But if we don't, there is no ruling with one world order. It's going to be utopia. It'll be more like Mad Max. If that good. Who knows? And a lot of people are like, wait and see, wait and see. We'll wait. We'll see what happens. We'll play along with it. We don't believe it. They won't let that happen. Well, what are we seeing concerning 9/11 now? What are we seeing concerning John F. Kennedy? What are we learning about things that have happened or supposed to have happened? A lot of bad information, a lot of hidden history to get us to where we are now. And I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. How they did videos and what they did with what supposedly was used on those days. Who knows? Who knows? Where the people that were supposed to be on those flights, if it didn't happen, I don't know. Or did it? I mean, there's videos that showed there were no planes around. No planes in the videos. Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. Now, we all know from the videos, watching the videos that they have now, with the sounds of all the videos taken around that time, that there were explosions the whole way down. And we all know there's no more explosions after the initial explosion. There wouldn't be anything to explode as it went down. So boom, 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 and you can see the outflare 10 floors or more down, from where the initial fall is. That's a control. That's a control. Okay. That's good. Thank you, Casey. Exactly, John. Exactly. We should learn by Venezuela because they were one of the richest countries not too long ago. I mean, even 10 years ago. They had their own fuel, they made the fuel, the ethanol, everything, one of the richest countries. Well on the stable, on the way to capitalism. And they went socialist, got their new leader, and guess what happened? They're back to third world, living off the streets, out of dumpsters, out of garbage, eating animals, eating their own pets. I have a friend that became a citizen here a while back from Venezuela. He still has people down there. And he tells it like it is, he worries about them. Hey, Party Bonsai. Bonsai. Random Rick. Okay, what's a well-dressed lion? I don't think it'll take 100 years. If the WEF gets accomplished what they want to accomplish, they changed from 2030 agenda, and now it's called the 2050 agenda. Dandelion. I think that we'll all be third world countries soon. Each and every one of our countries. Hey, how you doing? We're all going to be, all the countries in the world are going to be on an equal, low scale, third world type country. All of us. The whole world. And then they'll step in, whether it be the Antichrist or the elite. They will step in and say they have the answer. They have the cure for it. They have the way to get us back on the right track. Yeah, that's true, Fry. We squeaked by the 21, then they made it to 30, now it's 50. Who knows? There's probably a lot more agendas that we haven't heard of. Who knows? That's what I'm saying. Who knows what they are planning, what they're trying to do to us, what they're going to do to us? I mean, they tried to change our DNA, as we can see. And we all know that stuff wasn't a vaccine no more than no more than the water I'm drinking right here. They may have it in the water, but I filtered it, so hopefully my filter does a good job. I hope, but who knows if they're putting that together right. We don't know what's safe and what's not safe. We don't know. We have to trust a little bit, but we have to be cautious a lot. That's the heck of it. We don't know who to believe, what to believe, and when to believe. Don't know anything. So we're dependent on each other like this. We hear something, say something, something wrong or something good for us, something wrong for us. We all need to let each other know and keep in communication, be a big family, and grow our numbers, and try to stave off this wickedness that's taken over this cruel world. It's really bad, all this stuff going on, and we're getting ready to celebrate tomorrow our independence that we don't really have. That they would take the day away in a heartbeat if they could. If it wasn't such a big deal, guess what? That comes from the numbers to celebrate it. That should show us, that in itself should show us. Okay, Carol. I'm not a boss man. You do a good job, Carol. Thank you. I appreciate everything you do. Yeah, France is burning. The cities of Paris is on fire. I mean, I don't know what all is burning there. We don't see much. We see a few vehicles burning, things like that. But we don't see what, they don't show us what's actually going on anywhere. It's just like yesterday in DC, there was explosions and Molotov cocktails at Safeway and tellers of the banks, 3 different locations. We didn't see or hear much of it. It wasn't the police station on fire. Police stations, plural. We don't see it. They don't show it. They don't talk about it. There might be a little insert here and there, but nothing. What I can see, no pictures of anything. All this. I mean, we have 24-hour news now, and we don't get anything. We get 24 hours of nonsense, and most of us Democratic BS. Most of it. So we are the eyes and the ears of the country. The ones that are out there on the street with their own phone video and taking videos of what's going on. People telling what they see. Love you too, Carol. You're going to have to come on with me and tell me about the Ohio trip someday. I think I'll be back on Wednesday. Yeah, they try to make it look like it's no big deal, but we don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. cancel his trip to Germany. Yeah, his hands are full and his pants. A lot going on. There's a for instance there. France had their liberties until they went liberal and started the lifestyle that we're trying to get in place here. And guess what? France went down the tubes along with Rome and Greece and all of them that have lived that lifestyle and the way of life. It's happened over and over throughout our history. And socialism has never worked, never ever. Somewhat with the Amish, but it's not really a true socialist society that they live. I haven't seen. Of course, this weekend I haven't been on as much as I normally am. I haven't seen too much except for a few videos and pictures here and there, but it's all over the country. What part of Germany do you live in, you? Wow. See, this is what the U.S. and England and Germany, all of us, have to look forward to. Pretty much a minute. That's good. This is what is unfortunately looking like it's going to happen unless we pull back the reins and say, whoa, we'll be in the same boat as France. I don't think we want that. I don't think any of us want that. Three hours to the French border. That's not far enough, though. 3 hours, that's... Ugh. That'd be like the distance from here to Miami. Or... see, it's about an hour and a half to the Florida Georgia line from here. Not that yeah, it's pretty close. And it's like I think it's right at 1,000 miles to DC from here. Yep. And we don't really want war. We need to do this as peaceful as possible. War would only be the last effort. Then it could turn out all kinds of ways. We need to let our voice be heard and turn the tide peacefully. Quit squabbling among ourselves, band together and unite, and help each other build a wave that they've never seen before. If we don't, it will be like France. Things are calming down in Australia, but it's still bad. They're close to where France is now. And this is everywhere. It's a degree less than the others. If we don't wake up and do something, do it now. That should be our message tomorrow. Keep this independence. Keep this liberty. Keep this pursuit of happiness. Don't let it get away from us. Don't give it away. Don't sign it away. We got to long for it. Want it so bad we can taste it. If we don't, it is going to get not bad, more than bad. You can't describe what it'll get like. So I don't think the world has ever seen how bad it could really get. We depend too much on little things here and there, you know. We're satisfied with handouts from the government, you know, a few food stamps here, some help with our electric bill there, you know, what do they call it, cash assistance, things like that. And we're happy, you know. We're pleased and happy. Just don't cut off my food stamps, my cash assistance, and what have you. We're fine. But are we? I think they can get a vote for them, you know, by giving people little toaster leavings, as Al Bundy always said, toaster leavings. Stuff in the bottom, left in the bottom of the toaster, the crumbs. And that's what we're doing. And what really burns me up, what really tears me up, is how last summer cities were burnt, people were hurt, people were killed, police were killed, and the dignitaries out there saying, protest, protest, marching along with them. Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, cheering them on. Because why? They're mostly around the slums of the areas that in the cities that they really didn't care about. Actually, they didn't care. But then on January 6th, we hit their hometown, their home place. We didn't hit it, but damage was done to a few windows, people trying to climb in windows. That's, you know, basically outer exterior places were with any damage. And I don't call those disposable fences, you know, pushing them aside or throwing them or, you know, was damaged. That was just rearranging them. Wasn't damaged. Kind of hard to damage those. But that was their place, you know, the elite's place. So guess what? They used the geofencing, used people's cell phones against them. And if they got a cell phone ping off your cell phone in the Capitol building, you were arrested. And why didn't they do that the Summer of Love? They could have done the same blooming thing. But yet, very few were arrested. I don't think anybody served big time for all the damage and destruction and looting and bombing and you name it going on at that time. Well, this didn't happen January 6th. None of that even close to that happen. But the cell phone signal showed you were there, you were arrested, and they're still sitting there. Hence my hair and my beard until they get charged and fairly tried. I may have a mighty long hair and beard. It's sickening if you think about it. And if we tell it that way and show it that way, and everybody get onto our representatives to let our people go, there wasn't a hair on any one of their heads touched. Weren't even close to them. And only one way in and out of that building. And the confusion was people trying to get back out of that building. And as you can see from the videos, they're going too slowly. They weren't running, they weren't pushing, they weren't shouting, they're taking pictures, looking around. Nobody fighting each other. And those people on Capitol Hill, it's their job to represent those people in the gulags as much as it is to represent us, which they're doing a poor job. But we got to let them know, in no uncertain terms, they need to do both. But we need to get on the ball, write letters the old-fashioned way, email, flood the phone lines, let them know we ain't happy. And like a hornet, they might get stung. We need to do it. Ain't no other help coming from anywhere else but ourselves. And like I say, if we don't do it, we deserve it. We deserve what's coming. All of it. Each and every piece of it. I just don't understand why there's not more of us. More of us out talking this, showing things, letting people know. I just don't understand it. There's more negative and naysaying than there's people positive trying to teach the truth. If you don't think I'm telling the truth, let me know. But don't believe me. Don't believe everything I say. Check it out yourself. That's what you should be doing. Checking everything on your own. Researching, looking. We can help as a family, help each other find things and look at things and talk about things and learn it together. But it's going to take us all. Like I said, there's things going on all over the country, all over the world, just like you talking about France. He's in Germany. Your exact, whoop, Andy come up there too, popped up. Wait, what am I doing here? Yes, we do. Yeah, I was listening to somebody talking about, let me get the majority still won't believe the evil of the governments and what they're doing to us and what worse will come. Because we're so blinded by the shazing that they show us, and they got us hoodwinked, believing that they don't lie. That they don't lie. But they're lying to their teeth. Lying to their teeth. It is, how can a bartender go from hardly being able to pay the rent to $20 million since they've been in office? What is it, 4 years or more, a little more? Being worth $20 million. A broke bartender. And they can't be voted out. They cannot be voted out. And y'all know who I'm talking about. Three letter initials of what she goes by. She can't be voted out. Why? Because the district is predominantly Democrat, and they won't change. They won't change. This is what we're up against. People like that. But in the ones that are conservative areas, we need to make sure that conservatives come out of that area, just like the Democrats keep them in there because it's predominantly Democrat. We need to stick together. We need to stick together, which we're not. We're not even sticking together. If we can't stick together, how can we fix anything? Think about it. Can't do anything. You can't do anything, and we're lost. And that's each and every one of us. Has to at least try to do something. We all got our own way of doing things, and we can do things that other people can't do. But we got to do something. We have to do something. That is it in a nutshell. That is it in a nutshell. We condemn China. We put China down. We put Russia down. But you know, our leaders want us the same way. But you know what? I know I said this, but again today, I watched a video of Putin out on the street, people crying, wanting to shake his hand and couldn't shake his hand. Does Biden get that? No. And another video last week, they're singing the anthem of Russia. So happy, cheering, smiling, patriotic. But here, we have to be able not to say the pledge. We have to stomp on the flag. And like I said, Brandon would never get the handshake like that, or people cry because they couldn't get a handshake. And maybe Trump. So what's wrong with the picture? What is wrong with the picture? What do we want? Where are we going? As Brandon would say. Hey, Lynn, how you doing? Good to have you here. Yeah, we got our fireworks for China, for sure. Whoop. I won't be able to hear. I have got to get some speakers. I keep putting it off. I don't like these earplugs. Of course, I'm not listening to anybody, so I don't know why I have them in. I'm just talking to myself. Just talking to myself. Hello, self. How you doing? Doing good. How are you? Anybody out there listening? I don't know. I don't know. You know, never mind. I ain't gonna say it. I think this kind of stuff makes some people absolutely crazy. Drives them nuts. Yeah, why do we have to have an enemy? Why? I mean, in everything. We have to have the good and the bad, of course. But why is it that we have to have any enemy? That's all the devil. And the devil's in every religion, some kind of demon, morality in all of them, no matter what you believe. But why don't we understand this? And why don't we try not to keep enemies, to stay enemies, and reach the hand out to help each other? I just don't understand it. I've never been that way. I just, it's like we were saying before, a lot of people have never been taught the word no. Everybody gets butt hurt if it don't fit their fancy. I just don't understand it. Why we can't come together and get this stuff done. Well, it's all, I guess it's all part of the conditioning. It's been so long, it's going to be hard to break. It'll be a hard thing to cure. They're still teaching our kids, you know, you don't have to listen to this, you don't have to listen to that, you can do whatever you want as long as it feels good and what have you. Make it look nice, shiny, nice, shiny bling. Depending on what you call war, we got out of Vietnam. There was actually no war. We've got our bases in places around the world. There was a break in between that and let's see, what was it? 2002. Let's see, we ended Vietnam in the late '60s. So quite a few years without any conflict, quite a few years, between there and 2000. No, wait a minute. Bush Senior was I don't remember what year Kuwait was. Well, or we went into Kuwait against Saddam. It was somewhere in the 90s. So maybe a good 30 years. Now we have bases and forces everywhere, but no actual conflict. If anybody knows, let me know. Somewhere around that area, that time, you late 60s, early 70s. Yeah, early 70s, because my daughter was born in 69, and I was supposed to go, and they wouldn't take me because I was married with a child on the way. And it ended not too long after that. So it might have been middle 70s when Vietnam ended. No, Cuba was way before. Cuba was in the 50s, and before John F. Kennedy was killed. We never actually fought a war with Cuba. There was standoffs. They brought in trying to bring in missiles, and we had what they called the blockade in the 50s during the Cuban Missile Crisis. But there was no war, no battle, nothing fought then. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. We had Bay of Pigs invasion. That was a battle where we got Guantanamo Bay back. Dominican Republic. I don't remember that. I don't remember Dominican Republic. But then Bush Senior with Kuwait in the 90s, and of course Bush Jr. with Saddam in 2002, and then we went from there into Afghanistan. But that's the only actual big conflicts we've had, or wars. It might have been skirmishes with Somalia and all that. African countries were pirates and things like that, but wasn't actually against governments. It was against individual groups like Al Qaeda and the Somalians, things like that, but not actually a war. They might have stuck their fingers in Iran, but we never actually fought against Iran, except for what was done from Iraq while we were there when Iran would shoot their missiles in. But that wasn't actually against Iran. It was against military sanctions that were hiding in Iran and stuff like that. It wasn't against the government. Iran captured our helicopter during Jimmy Carter. They kept the hostages until Reagan got them released when he first became president. There was no actual war with Iran. It was a hostage situation where they got one of our choppers and held the crew hostage. And there were threats of war, but no actual. 65, Dominican Republic. I'll check on that. I don't remember. I was in high school in 65. Like I say, the news, you get I have to check on that and see what that is. Now, England had the island down there off of South America. They fought a war against. My brain's foggy. Panama. that wasn't a war. That was just a short skirmish. That wasn't actually a all out war. It was they went in and just a skirmish. I think he's talking about a major war. Like we were in Vietnam and Afghanistan, Iraq, things like that. The skirmishes. There's been skirmishes ever since the beginning of the U.S. We have Tripoli and the pirates and off the English coast to help with English, things like that. There's been through history skirmishes with a lot of countries. Never had a. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Falkland. Falkland. You're right. Falkland. Korea. Yeah, Korea. Korean War in the 50s. There's been several, wars. I mean, not a huge number, but as far as war, where you go against the country, totally, against the country, like we did in Afghanistan and Iraq, Korea, Vietnam, and actually we didn't really. I don't. That's what was bad about Vietnam. We didn't actually declare war on Vietnam. We were advisors, supposedly, to start the Vietnam War. Ho Chi Minh got a bunch of surplus army materials, weapons, and what have you left over from World War II. And he owed us tons of money on it. And of course, North Korea was against South Korea. And we sent advisors in by the thousands. And it became a bloody war. But that's why they said we shouldn't have been there to begin with, because that was their own battle. But they were using our materials to fight the war. That's how it got us into it. Teaching them how to use it and what have you, Yeah, Korea 1950 to 53. That was all out. That was a declared war. But other than those, it's been minor conflicts here and there. We had the when Obama shot the missiles into Libya. That was a skirmish. That wasn't a war. That was a UN sanctioned skirmish. There's a difference between these little bitty outflares than a major declared war. Now, how other countries see it, I don't know, but that's the way we see it here. The way we're taught here. It may be right, it may be wrong. I don't know. But I think that we should not be the world's police, personally. Exactly, Party Bones. Exactly. One of his sanctions, I think he thought he was ruler of the world. I really thought that he would go into the United Nations and try to take over the world, like Pinky and the Brain. I really did. There was talk of that he wouldn't stop with President of the United States. Exactly, you. Exactly. People turned a blind eye to what he did. And they're still turning a blind eye because we know that the fingers are still in it. still in it. We know it. And what can we do? We have to speak out. These are things that have led up to what we're going through now. And they see they got us snookered. And they do have us snookered. We're talking about it, but we're still snookered. We have to figure out a way to get out from under it and correct it, get it back on the right path. Otherwise, we'll be one world order, and we'll be bound down to who knows. It's only a guess. And I don't think we can even fathom what we might have to go through, what we may have to live through. They get this digital currency through and pass. I showed the last time in China, the 15-minute cities where you have to go through a photographic ID system to get in and out of gates out of your community. You have to report every move you make. Every move you make is seen, recorded. And if you don't do something right, you lose your digital influence. You lose your money. You can't buy what you want. You have to buy whatever the government lets you buy. You won't be able to go out and buy a new car every year or a new cell phone every year. Well, maybe the cell phone would be mandatory. I don't know. Probably would be, because that's what marks us now. That's what controls us right now. We are controlled by our phones, and we can't deny it. We cannot deny that the phones are influencing our lives right now. I mean, how many of us go in and we look at something on, not even on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, just look on their app as something, and YouTube, Facebook, whatever social platform it is, knows that you were there, and they target you with those advertisements. And I always check do not track, but guess what? They still pop up. They still track. So we can't stop that unless we just flat don't use the phone, use newspaper articles or what have you to buy our stuff. So look up stuff, but those are few and far between like they used to be. There's no catalogs or anything anymore. It's all online. All online. We pay our bills online. We do everything online. We go to the scanning checkout. It's quicker. It'd be all right if they give us a discount, make us kind of an honorary store employee, give us an employee discount for scanning our materials. It might be worthwhile, but we get nothing in return. And 9 times out of 10, they want to check every item when you go out the door. But if you trust us to check out ourselves, they need to trust that we did it right. Leave us alone. But that's not going to happen. Not going to happen. That is a problem. That is the problem. And they've taken history out of the schools in most cases. We were required as a major, when I was in school, to get our credits. We had to get, I think it was 63 credits back in the 60s. And so many for math, so many for English, so many for history, and our electives and everything. I believe the credits were by hours, if my memory's right. It's pretty high. And I went to summer school because I missed world history. I didn't take world history. I didn't complete my major, so I went to summer school to world history. But I've always studied history. I love history. Still studying history. I love it. But people don't like to study history. It's a well-known fact. It's boring. It's already happened. Why should we care? But as they say, history repeats itself. It seems like it's like a 20-year cycle. Like you was talking about war every 2 years. History repeats itself about every 20 years. Hence, the wars and stuff are usually that, but they've been a little more frequently in this century, especially. But it's almost at the 20-year level, almost. But if we don't know the history, we don't know how to correct our mistakes or how they correct, the mistakes they made, and use an example. It's a different society. You're right, Party Bombs. It's a different society in China. They are trained in family to be respectful. It's a different lifestyle they live, but they've lived that way for generation and generation. And the Confucius and stuff like that, the different way of living that they've lived, so they can accept the regiment that the communist China puts on them of obeying the government. Same thing was in Japan. They obeyed the emperor. The emperor was like God, and what the emperor said, they did because they worshiped the emperor. And it's a difference between the societies. That's how it's so easy to control them, and they think nothing of it because they've been conditioned their whole life, through generations. And they're trying to do it here. They're working on it hard. Makes it easier for the government to control the people when they listen to everything they say and do exactly as they say. And that's why they had the kamikazes, the dreaded kamikazes during World War II, because they would die for the emperor as suicide bombers. The same with the suicide bombers in the Middle East. They do it for Allah. They train for the day they're born to give their life to Allah. That's a more radical part of the religion, yes, not the total religion, but the radical side of it is to do everything like that, to give their life, to get so many virgins or whatever the belief is. And that's the difference. And a lot of us don't even know about it because we don't care about history. We don't study history. And that's how we lose. That's exactly how we lose. And we let our government decide for us what they want to do instead of, doing what it's actually in the United States supposed to do. It'd be governed by us, and they represent us. And that's the big problem. And until we get a grip on it, it's going to be that way. And we'll be living worldwide as they are in China now. And who knows how bad it will get in China. Who knows how far they'll be going with this. But we're not even watching it and seeing what's going on. We get no news of what's going on there, bits and pieces here and there. I know that they had concentration camps for people of Muslim religion and Hindu religion and different religions where they had to stay and they couldn't do this and they couldn't do that. And they lived like slaves and they made them work hard labor. Is that what we want? Is that how we want to rule? I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot to look at, a lot to absorb, a lot to think about. Is this how we want our children and grandchildren to live? Because this is what we're passing on to them. So sad. You think about it. And the worst part is we can do something about it. But we just won't. We're not. All we want to do is have fun, shoot off fireworks, and celebrate the day that somebody else died to give us. Millions have died to give us that one day. And they get one day a year of remembrance. And the pride gets a whole month. And a race gets a whole month. But the ones that have really made the difference are forgotten. Think about it. The ones that made the difference are forgotten. And we celebrate the most foolish thing there is in life, sex. Is that what we amount to? Is that what we want to live our life like? I know I don't. Most of you here don't. There's a couple in here that, I know want that to happen. I haven't seen any remarks from them lately, but that's their right. That's their privilege to live how they want. That's the way it should be. But don't push it on us. Don't even push it on us. For each and every one of us, our religion, our faith, no matter what color, no matter our sex preference or whatever, to live the way you want to live, as long as you don't bother somebody else. It's the way it should be. I can close my eyes and walk around you. I don't like it. I can close my ears and not listen if I don't want to hear it. And that's for everything. They've marked everything: hate crimes, false information, trying to keep us quiet. But that only goes so far. It only works so long. People rebel. And hopefully we start rebelling more. Let them know that we're not going to take it. I pray the good Lord we wake up. I know it is sickening what we see on TV. It's like I was saying a little bit earlier. They put a little bit of every lifestyle in TV now. Push it in our face. make us think that that's the way it's supposed to be. And we know better. We all know better. God made man and woman. He didn't make Heinz 57. The only difference in anything is the creature or the animal. The only difference. And unless they're like a worm and unisexual, they're male and female. And every one of them. If that ain't scientific, I don't know what is. We got our wires crossed somehow. That people always trying to change things, trying to change the weather, trying to change everything. Oh, we're causing global warming. We'll correct this. We'll dig a canal here. We'll dig something, and then they mess up nature big time. And then wonder why it went kaplooey. Always something they want to change or fiddle with, thinking that they're better than the creator. They can do better than the creator. Well, they're being proven wrong every day. Every day. But guess what? They keep on going. Trying to create that utopia. It's unattainable. Unattainable. Till you get to heaven. And that'll be utopia. I just, it just boggles my mind that people don't understand or see this stuff. They see it, but they ignore it. Think it'll change mysteriously somehow. It'll go back to normal. But it doesn't. It just destroys everything. Everything it touches. Destruction. TV and programs have become ridiculous. And these programs like The Big House and the games they play and Naked and Afraid, all the garbage they got on there, survival stuff. It's entertaining, how they're going to survive and everything, but it's Jerry Springer and Feuds Against Families and Dr. Phil and you name it, corrupting our minds, making us think there's a different way to go. And there's not. There's not. It's all garbage. It's pathetic. The things it's on. And it's spread to YouTube. People knock us down for telling the truth. Try to shut us down. Try to shut us up. It's scary. It's scary what we're looking at. And people are afraid to talk, afraid that they'll get talked about. They don't want to be talked about. They don't want their names mentioned. We have to be unafraid. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. And that is a strong statement, but a true statement. We're scared. We're not going to do nothing. And they've got us scared. Each and every one of us afraid to say anything. Afraid they'll shut our channel down. Afraid this, afraid that. Afraid. But I'm not going to be afraid. I don't get mad. I get even. We all have to bring up our own philosophy, our own state of mind, our own method to do things. As long as we do it right, we get it done. We got to get it done. I'm pleading, I'm begging, putting it out there. Let's learn and help and cultivate each other. Not put each other down, cultivate each other. Don't be mad because somebody says something that you don't like. And for heaven's sakes, we need to get away from hiding who we are. You hear what I'm saying? We need to quit hiding behind a name. Let ourselves be known. You hear all this crap about doxing people, coming after people, scaring people to death. That's what it is a scare tactic. Get us to keep our mouths shut and not say anything. Ain't that the truth, Lynn? John Wayne, even the old cowboys, fantastic stuff. I mean, I understand the man in the white hat doesn't always win in real life, but it was uplifting. It was an example of the way we should live. In My Three Sons, Leave It to Beaver, Ozzie and Harriet. There were wholesome programs that showed the way that we should morally live. The Duke, yep. The way we should live. I mean, we know that, that's not real life. We know that Superman can't really fly, but we enjoy it. Good, wholesome entertainment. But now we can't watch things like that because it's too violent. The old cartoons, Bugs Bunny, Yosemite Sam, all the stuff, they're too violent. The Roadrunner and the Coyote. I mean, we knew that we couldn't do that stuff. We were taught by our parents, it's imaginary. And we knew it ourselves, really. But we don't let our kids think. We don't let them imagine things. It's got to be real life stuff, true to form, good, bad, or ugly. And most of the time, it's the bad stuff that they show, not the good stuff. The bad stuff. Occasionally there'll be a movie on, that'll be heart touching, but very few. But they don't want us to feel warm and cozy. They want us to feel down and depressed and, hopeless. That's where they got us, in the hopeless situation. Exactly, they're trying to teach them sex too young. It's just like I was talking last week online. We talk about the Coors Light crap. The advertisers in everything, ever since ever since I've been alive, have been geared to the tween age. You know, from adolescent to tween, right in between. That's what all advertisement is geared for. And they said, well, tweens don't drink beer, but they're future beer drinkers, potential beer drinkers. And they sow the seed. And that Bud Light might go down now, but in years, 5 years when they're drinking age, they'll think, they'll remember, what have you. That's what they're geared for. Not for now, but for future sales. And the kid will tell the parent, well, you should get so-and-so. I saw it on TV. You should get that. And that's what our kids do. We see it all the time. Hey, I saw this on TV. Can I get this? Looks good. That's why they do it. Why don't you get a new car like they showed on the commercial? I can have my own TV in the back seat. And it works. Been working for years. They sow the seed. And who knows what kind of seed we've been sown and know it subconsciously, but consciously we don't even know. We don't know what we've been planted subconsciously. And subliminal messages are all over the place. They've been showing them in Disney movies for years. And it's been proven over and over and over, example after example. We are being conditioned. No ifs, ands, or buts. And it starts with our children. That's the scary part. It starts at that age when they're children. And now it's below the tweens. It's the pre-K. And we have to stop it. Somehow. If we can. I don't know if it's even stoppable. That's the scary part. We've relied on it so long, got used to it. Who knows what will happen? It's there. How do we stop it? Probably have to turn off all electronics and stay away from it totally. Period. TV, radio, telephone, everything. Who knows? We think about that. Seems pretty hopeless. But we can change this government around. We can have some say-so on what they're pushing at us and what they're doing to us. Investigate in things, like mind control and what's going on in that situation, and digital currency, and you name it. It's all to take our freedoms away. It's all to take our liberty away. All to get for the government and not us, and control us. To all be yes people to the government, no to ourselves. It's a dangerous game we're playing. Dangerous game we're playing. And we're getting burned. Whether we feel it or not. We're all suffering from it in one way or another. There's got to be a reason that there's more Karens now than ever before in the history. And the stupidity of stuff that they're doing, we look at it, think, crazy person. But could it affect us? Could we be the next Karen? Can we be made to snap at a snap of a finger? Think about it. We see people online talking some crazy stuff. Can we be doing it next? Total control of everything, Chaplain. Everything. Mind, population, everything. Total control of everything. Our minds, our health, our population, the amount of people that's living, the amount of people that's dying, who's president, who's vice president, who's elected here, who's elected there. Total control. We stopped it once. It ain't been that long ago. It's been a lot of years. Hitler tried it. We stopped it then. The whole world. They want to control everything. And they got a head start, a big head start. We got to play catch up. If we're going to do anything, we got to catch up big time. And we're in slow motion. We're not facing it head on. We're trying to go around the corner and every which way to avoid the issue. We got to quit avoiding the issue. And wake people up. It might get tough on us. I know this is serious. We got to get tough. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. The U.S. come in late, big time late. Hadn't it been for the Russians, Hitler would have succeeded because Roosevelt liked what Hitler was doing. He secretly and privately talked about how he hoped Hitler would succeed. And we brought all the scientists and everybody in to work on our projects when it was all said and done. We welcomed the demon in the front door. And it's still going on. It started way back when. We were pushed into it. A lot of reasons why. Sorry about it. A lot of reasons why. But our government did not want to fight Hitler. Now the people did. Our soldiers, thank goodness, they fought the fight. They fought the fight. Exactly, you. They hailed him back then. Loved what he was doing. I haven't quite figured out, and I studied history, I haven't figured out why we changed our minds and went into it. Say it was thinking with one of our past, what was it? Thinking of a ship. I can't remember the name. But the American people just wouldn't stand up, wouldn't take it. And they had to bend and go enter the battle. And J. Edgar Hoover was right there, right alongside them. No, we can't fight Germany. We don't need to fight Germany. Our FBI founder leader was one of the big kingpins against going to war with Germany. Loved Germany, loved Hitler's moves. We adopted a bunch of those ourselves from their Gestapo into the FBI. It's a long tale that we wove, and they've kept a lot of it secret. But word leaks out. Things have been written, talked about, discussed. If we only knew, we'd probably be so ashamed. Or would we? I don't know. So what do you think? A lot to think about. A lot to mull over, decipher, learn. We got to dig it all up, bring it to the light, and shine that light into that darkness, and get it out in the open. Some way, somehow, bring it all to the light. There's a lot out there. In the dark recesses of the dark forces. A lot going on. We'd be mind blown if we knew all of it. How could they do it to us under our noses without us knowing? Well, they have. They have. I mean, there's things like tunnels underneath the U.S. all over the place that we don't even know it's there. We don't even know it's there. A lot of people suspect, but they say it crisscrosses the entire country. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But you see examples of Cheyenne Mountain. You see examples out west, in the Midwest, where the tunnels, they go into tunnels for what reason, I don't know. The trucks in and out and taking supplies in and out. And it's videoed, pictures of it. Why? For what reason? They say security, but it's got to be a lot more than security. Who knows? Who knows? I don't. A lot of unexplainable things. A lot of unexplainable things. Do we have aliens, or we have technology that we don't know about? I say we have technology we don't know about that they're not telling us. A lot of stuff we thought was science fiction and not attainable a few years back are already obtained. I don't know why they keep it from us, but I guess they don't want other countries to know or what have you. National security, they say. But if you have something that's not beatable, then why worry about the, national security of it? That in itself is a big statement, Chaplain. A big statement. Why in the world can't they do it during regular business hours? Why have secret meetings and secret passings in the middle of the night? And not even tell us what it's about, period. A lot of secret stuff going on. Hush hush. Like I'm saying, national security. No reason for that in our lawmakers. No reason. Should be all above board, out in the open, for everybody to see. And then they try to write it up and only give 72 hours to review anything. It could be thousands of pages long with all kinds of pork in it that we never find out. They have people going through them, but they can only go through so much in that period of time. A few people read this part, a few people read the other part, and they try to get together and get the highlights of it. But they can't discuss all of it in the few hours that they have to take and dissect and everything, and comprehend and then get together and relate it back to one whole story. It's impossible. It's impossible. So it gets passed or not passed by whoever the majority wants, whatever it is, good, bad, or indifferent. By the size of the legislation, they need to give time to figure out what's in the legislation. Not a 2-3 day period. That's not enough. Especially with more than a regular book size. I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of pages in some of it. All the attorneys and all the stuff being put in it. The language, the way it's written, how it's written, where it can't be twisted, or whatever, or it could be twisted, however they want it to do, however they want it to read. A lot of trickery, a lot of tomfoolery. These are things that we need to get a grasp on and change. And if we don't, you know what I'm saying? We have to do something, even if it's wrong, to stop this malarkey. Who said that word? Malarkey. So, starting to sound like Brandon. That used to be a word back in the day, actually. A lot of people said, word malarkey, what's that mean? Old statement. That and whippersnapper and things like that. Things they used back when I was young. The young whippersnapper. A lot of words and definitions have changed through the years. Big time. Well, we got all kinds of for instances going on now. Gay was happy and, We had the Finks and the Rat Finks, and things like that. You know, the words are gone in history. A lot of stuff has changed. A lot of things have changed. Well, folks, I'm going to call it a day. Been good chatting with everybody. Everybody's enjoyed it. Maybe we learn something from each other. Keep on going and get this thing done. We got to. We got to. Pray the Lord that He helps us to get it done. But we got to take it in hand, each and every one of us, and do our own individual duty to get it done. Stop the fussing, stop the fighting, and join each other hand in hand to get it done, to get it accomplished. Otherwise, we're lost. And it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be so ugly we won't be able to stand it. I guarantee. Until Wednesday, y'all have a good, happy, fun 4th of July, Independence Day. Remember, and wave your flag. Wave your flag. And wave it proud. And don't let nobody take it away from you. Until Wednesday, y'all have a good one and happy holiday. Bye now. Love you guys.